back, everyone. Today we're going to be learning about functions, f-strings, and data type functions. Now, the first question you're probably going to get is, what's the difference between functions, like these functions, and these functions? Well, my friend, these functions are user-defined functions, while these are built-in functions, like functions that are built into Python. User-defined functions are essentially functions that the user writes in this syntax. And f-strings allow you to put a variable in a string. I'll explain in a minute what that means. So assume we're writing a function, or we want to do something. We first define a function by writing def and func name. In this case, we'll say add, and here we're gonna pass in some stuff called parameters. Parameters are basically what you're gonna be using in this, well, function. I'm gonna explain what that means in a minute. But for now, let's add n1 and n2. Now notice that AI returned me something, like gave me something. Return n1 plus n2. What's return, you ask? Well, it's just you asking the function to return data. Don't print it out, just return it. So you see that the indent has been removed in default, like by default, because the return function always marks the end of a function, or does it? If we were to write if n1 is greater than n2, return n1 plus n2. Else n1 is less than n2, return n1 minus n2, or n2 minus n1. Else return false, or actually return 0. So let's add. You see, it instantly gave me some values I need to put in here. N1 can be 1, and so this is all replaced with 1, and 1, if 1 is greater than, let's say n2 can be 2, return n1 plus n2. Here it's not going to add, because n1 is less than n2, so it's going to go to the elif and then subtract 2 from 1. What do you think this is going to return? Nothing. Exactly. Don't be surprised, because you have to print out the data that it returns. So, moving on, f-strings. What are they? Let me allow me to explain. Sorry. A equals inputs. What is your A? So we will print out F hello A in curly brackets. Curly brackets really mean that you should add this variable here, and etc. So if this variable name were to change, this would also change because it's the variable itself. Let me explain through a demonstration. What is your name? My name is Barik. Hello, Barik. That's it. And without this F, do you know what's gonna happen? Nothing. Because the F string indicates that this is a variable name and not is a variable. This is a variable and not just, well, something in the string. So if we were to return this F, and this F, by the way, is not case sensitive, or in other words, it doesn't matter whether it's small or capital. It always gives the same results. So this allows for less mistakes. Alternatively, you can just do this. Hello plus A. But that's less of a pain in the neck than just using f strings. Now, the last thing I'm going to be discussing, and then I'm going to be giving you challenges, is data type functions, which are built in functions, not user defined like these. They're built into Python. No, it's not user defined. For example, if you have two numbers, n1, n1, n2, n2, notice that there's always int functions here. Like, you always have to add int functions. They're safer. You can use floats for less errors if you. So, if we were to ignore what AI wrote, so num1 and num2. So num1 equals input into a number, num2 equals input into another number. If we were to add these, what do you think is going to happen? I explained this in lecture 1. Keep in mind. And we can also combine f strings with what we're doing, the results of num1 and num2 is num1 plus num2. Enter number 1, 2. The result of 1 and 2 is 12. That's what I explained in the first lecture, concatenation. So you have to convert these to numbers, or if you want floating point numbers, by using a function. You have to encase all of these in a float function, which is a built-in function as a reminder. Now, if you had a number and you want to convert it to a string, well, you can certainly print this number, but if you want to use it for concatenation, or actually, str1 equals enter, sorry, str1 equals 1 and str2 equals 2. Now, if I wanted to concatenate these two, I would just go str1 plus str2. And what would that give me? Concatenated? Let's check. 1, 2 again. You see, it worked now. 3.0. And if you wanted to concatenate it, it wouldn't be concatenated because these are two integers. And you want to convert it to strings. So you want to encase these around str functions, which converts anything you have in this function to a string. 1, 2. There you go. I see. And so I want to give you a little challenge here. Actually, I have an idea for this one. I'm just gonna go into just like from AI a challenge, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I've talked to AI, and it's actually given me a pretty clever idea. I want you guys to create a function that will print out hello name, you are 8 years old, which it basically asks for the name of the user and his age and returns them in a sentence like this. Hello name, you are 8 years old. And these two are variables, by the way. I want you to use them in a function and then print these out. Pause the video, have a go at it, and I'll be right back. Did you catch my mistake? You'll be right back, not me. So, define ask for name and age. Name age. Okay, so if we want his name, so we're gonna ask for a name equals. Actually, return F. Hello. Name, you are 8 years old. Thank you. Now, since we have return here, we're gonna print. And our parameter here is gonna become input. What is your name? And here we're gonna use int input. What is your age? So there's a complicated way to do it. Okay, this is where it gets tons. I'm 14 years old, guys. I know it's embarrassing. Thank you for watching. Comment if you got this challenge right or not, and comment any questions you want in every single video if you have a question. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.